Hi, this is Cynthia McMullen with Alaska Institute of Oriental Medicine, Acupuncture, and Massage Therapy. And I am here today with Deborah Faithrose, and she runs the Hypnosis Center of Anchorage. Deborah's been doing hypnosis for almost 20 years, and I'm really excited to talk to her because this was my teacher for hypnosis. Deborah's an authorized instructor through the National Guild of Hypnotists, and she also she does hypnosis and she teaches it. She's got a new certification course that's going to be starting the second weekend of March this year, 2019, March 16th to 17th. So if you're interested, I'm going to put a link to her website in the description down below, and you can check that out. We're going to talk about hypnosis today because we have a special event coming up on January the 6th, World Hypnosis Day, and that's going to be a lot of fun. And there's so many questions people have about it. So, Deborah, I want to start out and just have you talk for a moment about probably the number one question or comment that we seem to get, and that's a fear that hypnosis is some kind of mind control.
Oh, Cynthia, thank you. I'm glad to be here too. Thank you for bringing that up first and foremost, because that truly is the number one thing. It seems like even when I have people come into my office, they've made the appointment and they took the time to come see me, and yet that still is in the back of their mind, as we say, like some type of a little bit of apprehension about it, because they've seen movies or they've heard different rumors about hypnosis, that it could be some type of mind control, and there's a difference in mind control and hypnosis. That's a totally two different issues. You can never really hypnotize someone to do something that's against their will or against their morals, against their beliefs. That's why we have the conscious mind to always guard us, because sometimes clients think that they're going to be asleep and not knowing what I'm going to be telling them, but that's so far from the truth. They will hear my voice. They will know exactly what I'm telling them, and it's all about why they're in there, because I'm there just sometimes as their guide. I want to know, how do they want their life to be different? What are their goals? And then I'm there to help them get that goal, not anything that I believe they should have. It's all about what they want in their life.
Yeah, so talking to several people, even out front just now, talking to our receptionist, a lot of people seem to see the stage hypnotists, or have seen where, they have an audience and they pull somebody or several people out of the audience and then they make them do all these things, and that's the only concept of hypnosis that they have. And that's so different, I think, from having a private session.
It truly is different. I'm glad you brought that up too, because at our World Hypnotism Day celebration on Sunday the 6th, we are going to have a fellow there that just moved here from Florida. His name is Bobby Cobb, and he does both. He does clinical hypnosis as well as a stage hypnosis for entertainment. And there is a difference. Some of the techniques are the same, but the purpose is different, and he's going to demonstrate that on the 6th at our celebration. And we'll tell you a little bit more about the celebration in a few moments, but I want to address the difference between only having that experience as seeing a stage show for entertainment like they have in Vegas. Because if that's your only concept of it, I can understand why you would have maybe misconceptions about using it for your personal life. When you're in a stage hypnosis show for entertainment and you're in the audience and you're watching, the people on stage have volunteered to go there. They're usually outgoing people that want to be seen and want to be the star of the show, and they are willing, the most important part is they are willing to listen to the hypnotist, and they know that that's only temporary and it's only for fun. In other words, no one's going to come out of my office barking like a dog or clucking like a chicken unless they say that's what they want to do. And of course, in my practice, they come to make their life better, to stop smoking, or to get rid of extra pounds, or to make their life better in some way. And whereas stage shows serves a really good purpose too, because it's for entertainment, and we need more laughter in this world, and laughter is good for us. And so that's the purpose of that. And the stage hypnotist usually is a person that also sees people to help their life get better too. Usually stage hypnotist will do it for entertainment as well as have an office and see people in private sessions. And what the hypnotist has the people doing on stage, it does not last. It's only temporary. The hypnotist will leave the audience and also the people on the stage with some good things in their life. Usually he or she will say things when you open your eyes and become very aware once again that you will have a wonderful day and a wonderful life and take care of all your goals, and that's the way it should be. Just leaving the audience and the people on stage with good thoughts in their subconscious mind.
So let's talk for a moment about what it actually feels like to be in hypnosis, to show that it's really not mind control. A lot of people that I've seen are very surprised that they'll be very aware of what's going on, that they'll be able to speak, they'll know exactly what I'm saying. How would you describe the feeling of being in hypnosis?
That's very true, because sometimes when I have a client in my office explaining what hypnosis is before we begin the session, is even though they may have heard of stage hypnosis for entertainment or even seen one, it's easy for us to forget that when you're in an office for a private session, you don't have to be totally still and not move, because remember that in a stage show, those people on stage are truly in a hypnotic state of mind, and they do many things. They may stand up and sing like a rock star, and they're still hypnotized. So when you're relaxed in a recliner in private session, you can speak, you could be hearing the hypnotist's voice, and in fact, you'll be thinking sometimes on much more of a clear level. When I say thinking, I should say feeling, because when you're in a hypnotic state, you're accessing the emotions. The conscious mind does the thinking for us. Sometimes the thinking part gets in our way, so we want the conscious mind to just sort of float to the background. And you're never asleep. Hypnosis is not sleeping. We just want that thinking mind that can sabotage us sometimes to float to the background, get out of the way, and then our emotions are so powerful that we just feel. We feel what we want. We feel what we know. And when you feel, that's even stronger than thinking. Feeling is always stronger and more motivating than thinking. We need to have both, yes. But your emotions are powerful, and that's the state of mind that you're in hypnosis. You hear the hypnotist's voice, you're aware of what's going on, you can move about, you can speak, and do all these things, and yet almost in like a higher, stronger emotional level.
So what are some of the things that people come in to see you for? Some of the best uses of hypnosis from a private session level?
Most of my clients in sessions, my top two have always been, for the last 18 years, has been to stop smoking and for weight management. And when I say weight management, I say it in those terms as opposed to losing weight, because many people lose weight and then it comes right back, because the subconscious mind does not want us to lose anything. It thinks that that's a bad thing, and sometimes when we say those terms, oh, I lost weight, I want to lose weight, the subconscious mind is in conflict. It says, why do you want to lose something? I'll help you get it back. So I always say weight management. So I never say quit smoking, because our subconscious mind does not want us to be a quitter. It says, you're not a quitter, I'll help you keep smoking. So we want to change our terminology and almost like speak to ourselves as our own hypnotist and speak in self-hypnosis terminologies. But going back to the question is, those two issues: to stop smoking and get rid of unnecessary pounds. Weight management, that's my top two. And then after that, it's, wow, so many things. You'd be amazed. Any kind of fear, all kinds of fears, sports hypnosis, procrastination, and even to find things. I've helped people to remember very important passwords. I've helped people to find family heirlooms, everything from wedding rings to so many things that once a person, if they once put something where for safekeeping and they just forgot where it was, so once they had it in their mind where it was, then we can retrieve that from their permanent memory from the subconscious mind. So many things.
Yeah. I find that in the work that I do, I've worked quite a bit successfully with pain management, has been really big, and other health-related concerns. I like to really go and help people get into higher states of consciousness to access the healing response in their body, and I'm having a lot of fun with that. I've had one person who had wanted to explore why as an adult they had lost their sense of smell, and that was really interesting. So
I would love to hear about that, Cynthia, because you have some other skills as well, some healing skills that you add hypnosis with that, and I greatly admire that. And if you could address anything or share anything about some of your clients that you've helped, any healing in any way, I'd love to hear about that.
Yeah, one of the things that I do, I combine the hypnosis with body work or with acupuncture, and with that, using them combined, let's say somebody can be so relaxed just from receiving the treatment that it already puts them into almost a hypnotic state. And so to be able to speak and guide them into the area that they want to go in, especially picking up the healing response of their body while they're in that relaxed state, it just works beautifully together.
Oh, that's wonderful. I have had students in my class that have been already in different healing professions, and they're so complementary to each other. I've had dentists take my course that use it to calm their patients down that have a phobia about dentists and dental work. I've had registered nurses. I've had all kinds of people that already help people, but they just want to add this to what they already do.
So what do you think it takes to, if somebody wants to study hypnosis, what qualities does somebody need to have to really be a good hypnotist?
First and foremost, just a genuine caring about their fellow human being, enough to want to step out and learn something to where that they can take action and actually help people. Because so many people care about each other, yes, but then it takes just a different level of compassion, a stronger level of compassion to step out and learn it and to practice it. And it's one thing to read a book about it, but then to have hands-on experience so that, yeah, then you can actually help someone.
There is a huge respect, I think, of the other person, for people in general, that goes along with it, and a fascination with our mind.
That's very true, because hypnotism is all about the subconscious mind. In fact, that reminds me of why we have World Hypnotism Day. Because just to give a little bit of history about World Hypnotism Day is Dr. Jack Gibson was an Irish hypnotherapist who died in 2005. And he spent most of his career treating psychosomatic disorders using hypnotherapy. So then the first World Hypnotism Day happened in 2006 in his honor. Now, hypnotism is separate and distinct profession aside from psychology, counseling, and therapy. Now, many psychologists incorporate hypnosis into their practice, but a person can be strictly certified professional hypnotist, certified consulting hypnotist, which is and deal only with the subconscious mind, or they could combine it as you do with other healing things. It can be combined with psychology, which deals with the conscious mind, and it can be combined with counseling. It can be combined with even in the nursing fields. So, but hypnotism in itself is a distinct and separate profession.
So, one question I get sometimes is there anything that it doesn't work well on?
Gosh, that would be the hardest question to answer. I have yet to come up with anything that it does not work well with or just create success. I would say the only time that a person may not be ready for it, and then therefore if they're not ready for it, it would not work for them. And actually neither would anything else. For example, if someone is not ready to make their life better, maybe they're not ready to be a non-smoker, maybe they're not ready to be healthy, maybe they're not ready to stop procrastinating. In that case, it would not work for them, as well as not other types of counseling would work for them either. When a person is ready to make their life better in any part of their life, whether it be fear, something emotional, something physical, then the subconscious mind is right there ready to help them. Because one way that I always describe the subconscious mind, it is so much like having your genie that you just rub the lamp and call out, and your genie comes in front of you and says, "Here I am, Master. How can I help you?" That is your subconscious mind. It's there just waiting in the background. Wow, just use it. It's an exciting time of year. It's New Year. Time to change your life, and just call your genie for help.
Yeah. So how long does it take it to work?
That depends on the person as well. Sometimes I'll have a one session that is completely successful. However, most of the time it's at least 2 sessions for any type of issue. After one session, my clients will feel a difference. If they come in ready to change whatever it is they want to change, after one session, they feel the difference after they come back about a week later for their second one. Now the second one just adds to the strength of it. And the first one is kind of like planting seeds. Any session after that is watering the seed, allowing that desire, that good habit that's planted in there to just grow stronger and bigger. Most of the time, people are ready, the clients are ready, have their life on track and ready to go. Their habits are changed, they're happy, whatever it is, in 2 to 3 sessions. On occasion, there's certain type of program that will last from 5 to 8 sessions, and those sessions are usually something that is very particular, that may have to do with some physical ailments. For example, the hypnotic lap band process, where the subconscious mind thinks that the person has had the actual surgery of the lap band. However, have spared themselves of the invasive real surgery of having the lap band put on. And this is something that I recommend for people who need to get rid of at least 50 pounds or more. I recommend the lap band. And that process is anywhere from 5 to 8 sessions. Other than that, after 2 to 3 sessions, people are already seeing change in their life. I teach them how to be their own hypnotist. And once they're finished with 2 to 3 sessions, they can hypnotize themselves for anything else that comes up in their life, whether it's about what they came in to see me for or not. Something new comes up, they have those self-hypnosis skills. They can be their own hypnotist. It's awesome.
So, big question. Is it safe for kids?
Oh my goodness. I enjoy seeing kids so much more even sometimes than adults, because they are lacking all of the apprehensions and fears that most adults have seen throughout the years about hypnosis as something to be feared or it's mind control. Kids usually don't have that, and they just are looking forward to experience something new. And they come in already with, this is going to be fun, and we use imagination. And remember how easy it is for kids to imagine things? Like if you had a child in a room and you told them, well, there's a dinosaur in this room and you're the only one that can see it. Can you describe it to me? Oh my goodness. They would tell you what color it was, how big it was, what it sounds like, probably even what it smells like. So their imagination is just right there, and that is awesome. See, imagination comes from our subconscious mind. So especially depending on the age of the child, they usually walk into my office already in some type of level of hypnotic state, and their subconscious is right there ready to take it all in. So they are easy and they're quick, and they're very, very fun to deal with. It's more than safe. It's a great time to start putting positive thoughts into a person's mind as when they're a child. What better time to start out their life with good positive thoughts and good self-confidence? Self-confidence, that's what children need these days, so much self-confidence.
So I've actually worked with both of my kids. I have 2 young teenagers, and I hypnotized my son to help him with his homework.
Oh, excellent.
And he loved it. He actually came back with a list of 32 things that he wanted me to hypnotize him for because it worked so well. And I worked with my daughter when she went out. They were doing Tai Chi in the park, and there was one of the anti-abortion groups that had some pictures going on, and it was very traumatic. The way that they were showing the pictures and yelling, and I'm not siding anywhere on that issue, but for my daughter to see that and to see the pictures, she was really upset when she came home and said, "Mom, I have this image in my mind. I can't make that picture stop. I can't make it go away." And I worked with her once on that, and it was beautiful how it just I was able to take the image away for her and have her be able to go back to Tai Chi in the park the next week having fun.
I love stories like that, and I'm so happy that you're using hypnosis with your children as well, so they can grow up now seeing they have that power within them and be able to use all their life their own subconscious mind, and you're teaching them that, and thank you for that. And people, when they look at all the children that are in a very young age, the champion ice skaters and all types of sports that young children are great at and win awards at, sometimes people don't realize that they've had a type or a form or a level of self-hypnosis or hypnosis used to have them gain total focus. Total focus, that's really what hypnosis is about. It's just focusing on one thing so intensely that you can just give it your complete ability. And that's why it's so wonderful to use in sports hypnosis, and young children use that too. That's how they gain that edge in sports.
I think it's really nice to be able to have somebody who can guide you to the point of getting there, to that level, to that degree of focus, rather than having to try and do it on your own in the beginning anyway.
Yes, absolutely, because there are certain techniques that the hypnotist can teach children and adults to teach them self-hypnosis and to use different things, what we call anchors. And that takes someone that is skilled in teaching you how to use those anchors at any given time.
So, would you like to leave us with any good stories, any fun case studies that you've worked with?
Oh my goodness! Well, gosh, my mind just becomes flooded with so many, so many that I've had throughout the years. I love helping people do so many things. I think that one of my favorite issues or several of my favorite issues is ones that you can see almost immediate results. When someone comes back to me that's been smoking for 40 years, for example, and they come back a week later for their second one and they say, just the thought of a cigarette makes me just want to throw up. And they say, I can't imagine that I ever did such a thing. And that is so rewarding for me and them. And I also love it when someone has misplaced and lost something very important to them, a family heirloom, say, for example, and they may not come to them right away when they're in the office or before they leave and they may not think, oh yeah, I'll put it in the top right drawer. It may not come to them until they get home the next day. And all of a sudden, it's like pops into their head. Because you see, it's like when you're trying to remember something, even if it's something that you want to remember of a person's name, the past, or something that happened in your childhood and you want to remember it because it's a happy memory, or for whatever reason. What happens is it's like when you search for something on the computer and you put it in the search and you hit search button, and then it may take a while to search for it, and your subconscious mind is like a background program playing in the background, and on the forefront of your computer screen you see something else. It's kind of like your conscious mind. You go on throughout the day, the next day comes, you do your daily routine, and then all of a sudden you may be just kind of making dinner or shopping for groceries, and then boom, the background program, your subconscious mind, found the answer for you and just pops out of nowhere. And you think, wow, I wasn't even thinking about it. How'd that pop into my head? But that's the search program. Your subconscious mind gave you the answer. I love those kind of stories where they call and say, oh yeah, it popped into my head out of nowhere.
Yeah, that level of detail is amazing. And I remember in class, we were working on age regression, and the person that you had me working with, and you were helping walk me through the first time doing actual age regression, and the person went back to the day that they were born and remembered detail about who was there and what was said at that time. That was amazing.
Yes, that's amazing. In fact, the subconscious mind is more amazing than we think. It's permanent memory. It starts even when we're still in our mother's womb, and it reminded me of one story. You asked of one of the stories that I could tell is back when I was, right before I moved here in Dallas, I had a lady come to me that was deathly afraid of storms, even if it was just slightly cloudy. And it may not ever rain, or in Texas, we have big thunder boomers. I mean, big lightning, and so there is occasion when you need to respect that and be safe in the lightning storm. However, her fear was illogical. Even if it got the slightest bit cloudy, she would just go into a very fearful state. So, and she had no idea why. It's not that she was ever even close to being struck by lightning, ever. So finally she just got tired of it, and she came to me and she said, I don't know why I feel this way, but I'm tired of feeling this way every time it gets cloudy. Now, in the state of hypnosis, her subconscious mind remembered being in her mother's womb, and her mother, when she was still pregnant with her, did almost get struck by lightning. She recalled, and almost like she felt like she was back there in her mother's womb, hearing the crack and thunder and the crack of the lightning, and then feeling her mother's fear, and then hearing her mother's voice of fear, and as her mother said, I hope the baby's okay, and all of these fears were coming through from her mother into the baby. And that's where it started, right there. That's where it all started. Now, granted, most of my clients' fears don't start back that far. There may be something from childhood or teenager or something, but in her case, that's where it started. And once she knew and looked at it in a different way and completely reframed that feeling, then she was okay.
And we kind of have that saying that whatever we think it is, it's not that. Whatever we consciously think it is, like if I think, oh, I'm scared of this, and it's probably that thing that happened to me when I was 5, if I'm consciously thinking that, that's probably not what it is.
And sometimes you're absolutely right, that's the case. Sometimes that's just a starting point. That may be one of the causes along the way, but not the initial cause, not the very first one. It's what we call the ISE, initial sensitizing event. Consciously, you may remember something that reminds you of the initial event. Let's say if the initial sensitizing event happened to you at 5, something that reminds you of that may happen at 10, and then that's the only one you consciously remember, the one at 10 years old. But it really started at 5. So your conscious mind remembers the 10-year-old event, but in hypnosis, we go back to the 5-year-old event. And the only way to get to the 5-year-old is through the subconscious mind.
Our subconscious mind is brilliant.
Yes, indeed.
And so if people want to know more about this, we're going to be at the Moose's Lodge this Sunday on January 6th from 10 to 4. It's totally free. The Moose's Lodge is on Arctic and Tudor in Anchorage. So come on down and you can meet some of the local hypnotists and get some demonstrations, see some presentations, get a little mini session, and it should be a lot of fun. And if you are even considering anything in your life that you want to make better, that you want to change, that you want to improve, this is a great way to do it, and you'll meet the people who can help you do that. So,
yes.
Anything you want to add, Deborah?
Oh, yes. I'm looking so forward to Sunday. The Moose Lodge, the exact address is 4211 Arctic Boulevard. 4211 Arctic Boulevard at the Moose Lodge, and it's free. We will have some recliners in there, some where that you can experience just a mini session if you want, because you may be to the point where, well, see, now that I've listened to this information, it sounds like something that I may want to try. It will not be like a full session. However, you can just get the feeling of it and see that it's a very relaxing process. It's a very relaxing way to change your life and just get the feeling of what it feels like. Or even if you want to just come and ask questions, pick up brochures, and it's just a wonderful time to meet different people in the Anchorage area that are certified hypnotists.
All right. Well, thank you very much.